Alrighty guys, we're trying this. I put the tripod down. Hopefully it don't move too much with the car moving. But yeah, today's video. Recently I've been talking about fear, and then oh shoot, it's not that bad. What's called fear. Fear is like when, I guess you can think about fear as in when the context I'm talking about it in is when something is holding you back from doing what you want to do, right? Which is normal. It happens. Sometimes you can't jump off a freaking ledge to jump in some water, right? Or go off a diving board because you're scared of water or scared of heights, whatever it is, right? That's normal. But sometimes it's also what I've come to learn in my understanding is that sometimes I'm gonna turn this off and you guys figure it out for yourselves. Sometimes in life it's not really just about it's not just about the fear, it's the traumatic fear, right? Because if you're afraid of something, if you're afraid of something, right, it's not just gonna come out of nowhere, right? If you were taught to not be afraid, then you won't be afraid, right? If you're taught to face your fears, then you'll face your fears. The hardest thing now is that how to deal with that when that's actually the case, because our traumatic fears sometimes are not going to stem from us. They stem from the people that gave it to us, right? So it's like a learning process of tackling your fears, but seeing where the fears come from. Where did they start, right? And how to learn from it, because everything's going to be hard, but how can you make something fun, right? So one thing I have come to conclusion with is, for me, my fears stem from my parents' fears, right? And the people around me's fear. It's not necessarily just friends, but it can't come to that. Can't come to it if all your friends are why would I even do that, or that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense for you, do it. And if they're right, it doesn't make sense, still do it, because you'll learn that it generally didn't make sense, right? Obviously there is the learn from someone who's done something and from their mistakes, and obviously if something like alcohol is not going to help you become a better person, then don't drink alcohol, right? But not everything is cut as clear as that, right? One of my friends, he does trading, and I'm not going to get too into it, but he went through something where he did himself repeatedly, but it came, where it stemmed from was something completely different, right? And it could be built up from when you were a lot younger. It's not even something from as of recent, or, like I said, it's built into you. So I would say look within yourself. When you're scared to do something, genuinely, it could scare you to jump off something or do something adrenaline maybe that's more understandable. Where does that fear come from? But then when you're doing something and you're not consistent in it, even though you say you want to do it, figure out why you don't do it, because there's 100% reason why you don't do it, and that could be from fear of failing. That could be fear of maybe it could be from the fear of failing, fear of what others might think if you fail, fear of the people you look up to and what they might think, fearful of what you're going to think of yourself when you realize you messed up. Fear can come from a lot of different stuff, but don't let it eat you up. Don't let it be the thing that stops you from your goals and your dreams, and then sitting on Instagram or TikTok because it's the easiest thing to do. I'm a victim to it. A lot of people are victim, even the most successful people are. But that doesn't mean you should be a part of it, right? It's okay to have your scroll time and look at stuff and just unwind for a bit, sure. But at the same time, I'm not saying you have to cold turkey it, but focus on the work that needs to get done. Focus on the stuff that you want to do. And the work that needs to get done is generally the boring stuff. That's really all it is. If your hardest thing to do is the thing that you're telling yourself you want to do, which is let's say for me, it is the clothing brand, for example. If my hardest thing is to make the designs, even though I've already made some before, I'm decently good at it. why the hell is it taking me that hard to make designs, right? Like, the one thing that was actually hard for me was speaking and talking to manufacturers, because one, I had a fear my fear was being like, it stemmed from being skeptical of these people, right? Not of the people, but just like it not going right, and I don't get the right stuff, and I have to put a lot of money into it, right? And it doesn't feel as like when you'd rather buy something off Amazon than you would off Temu or Alibaba, right? Or AliExpress, right? You'd rather buy something from Amazon because it's just more likely to be better because of the trusted site, because the people there, you can obviously get scammed there, but it's just generally like Amazon just feels so much better. Like, you would rather get scammed on Amazon than get scammed on Temu or Alibaba, you know what I mean? Obviously, Amazon doesn't do clothes, they're not manufacturers, so you understand that, but that concept. So my thing is, if Alibaba is the place everyone goes to, but there's a lot of people that are on there, and a lot of people are scamming, faking, and when it comes to, like, I've learned how to figure out what's a good company or what's a good place to search because of, like, the stuff they post, of how legitimate they are, all that kind of stuff. But at the same exact time, a lot of people just use stock images. They don't use their own stuff, so it's like, what the hell? This is like, I don't know what to do. And I took the risk, and I did with 2 manufacturers with 3 different items. One of them came from one manufacturer, and the other 2 came from another one, and it turned out horrendous. It turned out so bad. The one that gave me 2 stuff, it wasn't good at all, right? The other one was better. I liked it. It was a little more. It was what I asked for. It was just one thing that was not, like, the embroidery wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it wasn't that bad, right? But what I learned with the manufacturer that I found online, it was a guy who was showing manufacturers from the service, like the events that they have. He put their cards, and I just legit took the lady's card, messaged her, and we're working. And she's showing me so much more stuff. She's giving me discounts on stuff. She's showing me better stuff, like, because I was able to negotiate it. She said it was so, like, she was saying hard no's for a lot, but just because I was persistent, asking and seeing, she was like, screw it, fine, whatever. And she was like, how it comes to measuring stuff, I figured out how the hell I need to measure stuff. Like, everything's just coming together. It's what I'm looking for, right? So I'm happy now with them, because now I feel like I don't have to do so much iteration, right? But because of me taking that jump, that leap of faith with the manufacturers that didn't do well, it forced me to look for other stuff. It forced me to look for say it with me, solution. It made me find the solution. So sometimes your fears, and the fear of failing, and the fear of messing up, or whatever it is the reason why you should do it, because then it will help you figure out the solution, right? And only now I'm realizing I found the solution when I found the person, I was like happy, I was excited. I went on a meeting with her. I got to speak with her. She knew a decent amount of English, well enough to help me, and gave me all this kind of stuff, all this right information, and all these words that I didn't know what the hell they meant, so I had to do research, and she was helpful. Like, me failing and having to find something better and something that was gonna, benefit me was the failure that got me to a solution. Now, granted, the quality is gonna be a lot better, but it means I'm gonna spend a little bit more. Who cares, right? I just have to work harder in my sales job, all that kind of stuff, and I'll make that money in no time. So yeah, a lot of stuff is on my plate too. I'm going to California to meet some really important people that I'm excited about. Like, this is insane, right? Like, I'm really happy for myself and what I'm doing, and this is kind of hard to see me, but yeah, it's just everything is going good. There's a lot more effort and a lot of work I could put in. I always feel like that's always going to be the case, but I don't think I've been slacking off. That's the good part. I've been keeping focused, but I can manage my time a little bit better. I will say I can definitely manage my time better. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be doing. I'm putting my time into me. And again, guys, I've said this before, but it's hitting me now. Focus on you, and don't worry about what anyone says, does, thinks, whatever it is. Like, if you have to, like, instead of spending money on and going out with friends, even though it's going to be a fun time, it could benefit you in some type of shape, way, form, whatever it is, don't do it. If you need to sit down, lock in, and focus on the business, not go out for a couple of weeks, all that kind of stuff, that's okay. Focus on what you need to do. Because that's what matters. That's what genuinely matters. Like, you spend that money going out to eat junk food, or even if it's Chipotle, which is healthy, if you want to say, which I think it is. I mean, I don't know what they do, but genuinely healthy. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that money could have been spent somewhere else. Unless that's your goal to go do something, and your friends happen to be there as well, or you invite them because it could be it's benefiting you regardless, but it could help them. Sure, do that. Obviously, there's times you can unwind. There's more to life. Live life now. Sure. But at the same time, only reward yourself when it's worth rewarding. You know? I told my friend, this person was crying a lot because of everything that was going on, which is, listen, if you want to cry, you can cry. Don't let no one tell you that you can't cry as a man or whatever it is. Like, I'm not going to say start bawling your eyes out every second you get. Like, control your emotions. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Think of things rationally. But if, like, sometimes life hits you so hard and you cry. Okay? Maybe someone dies. You cry. Maybe something happened in your life and you remember it as trauma. Whatever the heck, you cry. That's fine. But if you're crying as well, this is just because it's in recent topics, to manipulate or to overdo something, whatever it is, then as a man, like, what the hell are you doing? Especially crying like that much as a man, right? But it's okay every once in a while. Go ahead, get your cry out, man. Or somebody touches your heart and it makes you cry. Like, bro, like, as Muslims, we, like, bro, if any Muslim man, it could be the hardest, strongest man in the world. If you play Quran and it touches him, he will cry, right? Or even if you just play it and this person's in a religious, like, if you take him to Mecca, almost everybody's crying in Mecca. For the first time, they're always going to be crying. There's not one person that's not going to be crying. But anyways, do your work, do the stuff you need to do. Don't let fear stop you. And focus on the goals, focus on what's important, and put yourself first. Always put yourself first. All right, assalamu alaikum.